Have you ever thought of the following? I'm not so sure about this, or I need to get clear on this before I make a decision. Well, I know you have, because we're humans and we love clarity. And who doesn't want more clarity in their life? And unfortunately, being clear on something is a luxury that very few have, and especially nowadays, I think that it's even harder to be clear on what you want to do with your life, on what you want to achieve, because you're constantly bombarded with different sorts of information, because everyone is a content creator, including myself. Like, I'm holding my phone right now and I'm filming this video. How easy it is to spill information into the world. Now, the upside of this is that we get so many different views on a certain subject and you can make an informed decision. There's always someone to follow you, because the chances of out of 8 billion people that somebody resonates with what you're saying are huge, at least 10 people. But the downside of all of this is that the information gets really saturated and it gets overwhelming and more overwhelming with every single day. And it gets really hard to be clear on what you want to do with your life. Are you clear on your goals, on who you want to become? And then when you're unclear eternally, it's really hard to be clear when you're speaking to other people. You become unable to speak, you become unable to share your thoughts and your ideas, and it's normal, because you externalize your internal problems, your internal lack of clarity. And what inspired me to do this video is the passing of the legend Robert Duvall this week. You know, he was 95 years old, but still, it hit me really hard, because he's one of my favorite actors of all time, and I was raised by his classics. And this guy left a legacy behind him, and I began wondering about my legacy. Even though I'm young, I'm constantly thinking about how I want to be remembered, because I think that if we all start to think a bit more of the end, we're going to fill up our lives with meaning. And that's actually one of the 7 habits of the 6 most successful people that Stephen Covey talks about. In the beginning, have in mind the end. And it's really important to have in mind the fact that we're mere mortals in this life. And you know, it's really difficult nowadays to have this in mind, because you're constantly living in the now, you're constantly living in the shorts that you have on your phone, in the videos that you have on YouTube, in ChatGPT, you're chatting with it, you're getting life advice from a chatbot. And it's really hard to just be conscious of the fact that you're not here for eternity. You're here for just a fraction of a second when it comes to the life of the whole universe. And it's really good to be reminded that you're mortal and you need to get clear on what you want to do. Now, I'm not pressuring anyone to make a decision this minute, this second. But I'm saying to you, just go out there and live, experiment. Because clarity will not come out of the fucking blue. No, it won't. It will come by trying, by failing, by seeing what works and what doesn't. And I'm saying this also as a communication skills coach. I coach in my Skool community, and it's really hard to be clear, to be understood from others, when you're not clear on your own principles, when you're not clear on your own identity. And we're living in a world where people have lost their identity because they're constantly imitating what they're seeing around them. Now, that's normal. Our self-belief, our belief system is built on what we're seeing around us, or what we're consuming. Normally, we're the average of the people that we spend the most time with. Now, this has turned to we're the average of the people that we consume the most content from. And we have to be really picky with the people that we consume content from, because you can get lost in that ocean of information, and then clarity becomes really a myth that only a few get to experience, as I said before in the beginning of the video. And the whole purpose of this video is to make you understand that you need some sort of clarity, and in order to achieve it, go out there and experiment, go out there and live life, because clarity doesn't come with just sitting there and thinking about it. No, clarity comes from experimenting. When you see that, okay, I really love running, or I really love art, I really love music, go for it. Go for it full time and enjoy it. And now you're clear on one subject, and you can spread that knowledge of how you got clear on this subject to others. And the reason I'm talking about this is because I have had a really hard time figuring out what I need to do, what I want to do from life. And I want to live a meaningful life, but not only in the money sense, but in the sense of connecting with people. Because that's the whole idea, right? That's why we are put on this earth. And every single day I'm trying to take a single step, at least a single step, towards that end goal. So I don't want you to write your obituary right now, or to imagine that you're reading it. No, I want you to be mindful of who you want to become. Think really hard about it. What do you want to live? How do you want to live your life? And then begin taking steps towards becoming that person, because that's the only thing that matters. That's the only version of yourself that you need to chase. That, as Matthew McConaughey said in his Oscar speech, you're chasing your own best version, and you're never gonna catch it, but in pursuing it, you're making progress. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's all about enjoying it. So I hope that you have some clarity at the end of this video, and if you want more videos like this, please comment, subscribe to this channel for more. And if you want more clarity in the way you speak, in the way you present your ideas to the world, check out my free Skool community in the link down below, or book a free discovery call with me to see how you can get more clear on what you sell, who you sell it to, and how you sell it to them. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.